Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Miami Dolphins. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington Redskins and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by a young man making his first NFL start.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still first down.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
They're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still first down.
On the handoff, it's Geis. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It It's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. And he's got some space here. Able to slither by. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. The Miami Dolphins starting lineup now, and Kenyan Drake, a guy to watch.
He has the ability to affect the game in so many different ways. In the return.
To throw on second down. Gates. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him. When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
A gain of 3, second down. Here's a look at the starters defensively for Washington. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. It's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
Looking to throw on second down. Gates. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. On 1st and 10, Gates. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
Now Balazs. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Operating from the gun. Gates looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Drake. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receiver.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. In for the score. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes this a 9-point game. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll look to throw here. It's brought in by Jameson Crowder. And he'll get it down here to the 43. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State. And a quick look at Washington's offense.
Former 4th-round pick out of Duke is Jameson Crowder. Now, he doesn't grab a lot of headlines, but he's been quietly dependable for his first 3 years in the league. Excellent.
They're going to look to throw. Doxson with a grab over the middle. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The starters on the defensive side of the ball for Miami. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
And from analyzing them and talking with their defensive coordinator, we know they have a full playbook. So look for them to mix up coverages, pressure one play, fall back the next. They'll do a lot of different things trying to confuse the offense.
They'll set up to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
I think most quarterbacks would love to to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 98 yards, too shy of 100.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football. Give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
And they'll get him down here at about the 42. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. And you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Throwing on 1st down. Gate, 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
To throw on 2nd down. Gates. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a 1st down. A pair of 1st downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. On 1st down, Gates. Quick hitch, complete. It's Owens. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. A very solid gain of 27.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
This quarterback now 10 of 10 to start the game. How about that? As he comes up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
On the give, this is Drake. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and get the 1st down.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
They'll give it to him up the middle. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Gates. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal. Jason Sanders now for the Miami field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Sanders' kick is good. And that will bump up the lead again to 12-0. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Guys, and forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. He's got quick. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And we'll see what the big tight end Mike Gesicki and the rest of the offense has in store. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
Now a handoff for Drake, and not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
On third and short, Drake. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Oh, and now some space to operate. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Here we go.
On the give, this is their fullback. Finding room to the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Back to throw. Gates. He dumps it off to Drake. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it third down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Looking to throw. Gates. And it's caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Another shot from the one on 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Gates, and he floats one there, incomplete. He was looking to get it to Parker again, and it's 3rd and short.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. The kick by Sanders is good. And the lead extends. It's 15-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
So out now come the Redskins. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Dumps it off for Geis. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. He'll drop to throw. Out to the left, it's complete to Dodson. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. It's been all passing all the time on this drive. 5 for 5, and now 1st and goal.
Feels like a case of until they stop us, we might as well keep running the offense that we like to run. Don't change up.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that will get him 1 closer. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And now let's talk about Kenyan Drake. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. So the 2 teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And it's the Cowboys who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for Dak Prescott. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. Jameis Winston, a touchdown pass in the victory. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Minnesota Vikings. 27-10, the final score. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Looking to throw on second down. Gates. On the right side open is Gesicki. 83 yards receiving now for him on the afternoon as he's got a first down here.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Parker unable to get that one, and that'll bring up second down.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Now Drake. And an alley to run. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Here we go.
On third down, Drake. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Over the middle, that's caught by Owens. And he'll get inside of Washington's 15 before being taken down. A gain of 32 that time.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage. Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been threes.
So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They run it here with Thompson, and they'll get him down here at about the 42. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll hand it down to Geis. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and he showed it right there, didn't he?
That's that wrestling background he has. He understands leverage as well as anyone in the game. A big-time wrestler in high school. He didn't lose very often.
3-time heavyweight state champ in South Carolina.
Well, that wasn't a completion, but it wasn't a sack either. So the good takeaway, able to extend the life of the play. Normally, you would think he'd just take off and run downfield. But he was trying to find an open receiver, unable to do so.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Back to throw here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
So now here come the Dolphins. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Right back to Drake. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Gates. And over the middle, this is Parker. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just 1 big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're 1 big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. the gun now on third down. He's got his man. This is Jackson. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
On first down, this is Geis. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's hauled in by Doxson. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. This is Geis. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The tackle by Robert Quinn.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Going up top. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. A big play there for the Dolphins. 54 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure he's got...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Love the effort there. I mean, to get a field goal block in this situation because they knew what was going on. They give up those 3 points there. It's now a 2-possession game.
Yeah, that really changes the complexion here in the second half, doesn't it?
It really does. And now you give your team more than a fighting chance and a little momentum. Terrific job by them setting the tone and picking up their defense.
And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up a second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This one caught by Crowder. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's where this crowd can really help make things difficult. It's 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw. Completes it to Quick. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
They'll start the drive with Drake. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble. I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. Into the Redskins. Have it, they do.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
Geis, they'll try to run it. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
He'll get it up the middle. And he pushes forward, but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. On the ground, Geis. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Redskin touchdown. Darius Geis, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Redskins are within a 2-point conversion of tying this game.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
He'll look to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And out come the Dolphins now. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Let's go. 1, 9, 1.
On 1st and 10, Gates. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go.
Running, it's Drake. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Over the middle, complete. That's Owens. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Bucky Hodges, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Sanders on for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes this a 9-point game. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here we go now. 3-19. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here trying to preserve the lead. Indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Here we go. Green, 39.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And no, it's incomplete. The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for the strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win.
Let's go.
Off play action. Gates. Throw left side complete. That's Hodges. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On 3rd down, it's Drake. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. On the catch, it's Crowder. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll run for it. Geis. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. On first down, he'll drop to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Robert Quinn in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Wide open receiver complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Charles Harris in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's 4th down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that one.
They're down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. Only one timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart, It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have one timeout left, and that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch, not at all.
The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Miami, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Washington, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.